available. Is this still here? Okay, let's go on the old route, shall we? The old route. You know what? If I'm gonna go on the old route, then I should probably. Oh, there's some nice music. Should I? Nah, we're here. Let's do this. I was wondering if I should do this in a galaxy, because that's what I used to do this route all the time in. But I also used to do it in a sovereign as well, so, it don't matter. Probably be the first time I played a few of these in a long time. Available. Assisting the Deferi. Hitting the Deferi. We ask for your assistance in dealing with the Breen. Yes, those dastardly Breen. Okay. Zarya and rescue Deferi captives. Deferi captives is hilarious, because you basically talk the Breen into doing what you want because the Breen are stupid. Okay. Now we're looking for a Deferi patrol. Zenkath. They're going to be out this way. Let's just head towards the Deferi system. We're probably going to encounter one somewhere along the way. You know what? It don't feel right. Something about it don't feel right. So I don't have I don't have like the Galaxy. I don't think I might have dry docked it. I don't think I have the old retrofit handy. But I do have I do have the ledge readied up, so let's do that. Loadouts. Okay, switch starship. Okay, Dread Glinde. Alright. Let's do this. We are looking for a patrol. You turn really fast in sector space when you're stopped, at least. Okay, I have eyes on a Deferi patrol. Oh, these Breen are about to have a rude awakening. The last time they saw the Walglinde, it was a lot nicer than it is these days. 20 Starfleet vessel in range, please, you must help us. So is this going to be like where you have to fight to save 3 Deferi ships, or is it going to be the Wave 1? Because there's a defense one and a decidedly offense one. And there's the little bastard right there. If it's ever gonna load, come on. I know this is an old mission, but dude. This game is held together by baling wire and wishes. Our fleet is under attack from Breen ships. Nope, it's the one. It's offense. Hey, Breen! How's it hanging? Yep. Be aggressive. Hi, I brought a lot of friends. Oh, I remember this. Having to hunt around for the last one. Alright. Let's find him. There he is. There's also dreadnoughts. Like, I remember, like, the Breen dreadnoughts would show up as well. I don't see it, though. Alright, back to the barn. We got a lot of work to do. Okay, well, two species have yet to share an extended history together. Bitch, it's been like 10 years. No! This was the first featured episode series. It has been 15 years. It's been over a decade. I'd say that's a fairly decent amount of history. Okay. So, we need to assist Deferi Outpost 3. Which is the one that most often had the, I want to say it's the one that most often had that patrol. Or had the, dreadnoughts patrolling. So there's some caveats to this. I can't do the contraband. Well, I could. But that would be part of my daily is the contraband run. And the Foundry. Remember the Foundry? Foundry was great. Nowadays, it's called Star Trek Adventures. Yeah. The end game of Star Trek Online is somebody else's game.
What's up, bitches?
Okay, Breen Task Force has formed a blockade. Oh. Well, that's a no-no. That's a paddling. Alright, let's turn this music up. Let's get that other squadron readied up. We got Chelgrets, Chelgret warships. Incoming brain transmission. It's an extremely uninteresting area of the quadrant. Hey! I'll have you know. Well, it's in another quadrant. But the beta quadrant's plenty interesting. Here to study gaseous anomalies. I'm here to turn you into expanding clouds of vapor. And for the continued survival of your crew. Dude! Oh boy. The man does not realize that death has just entered the system. Like, I get, like, the fucking Waglinde drops into the system looking like a Galaxy Dreadnought. Death has just entered the chat. I have made my bank fighting things way bigger than Breen. And it's about to be your problem. Where are you? There are like 3 frigates out here. They annoyed the crap out of me back in the day because they love tractoring the shit out of you. Go ahead, try that. See how it goes. Tractor me. Go ahead. Fighters? Oh, and they're 3 levels ahead of me. Not that that mattered. I'm on the lookout for that dreadnought. Yeah, no, it's not gonna go. Yep. That's just not gonna go well for you. Angry swarm of Valkyrie fighters. Alright. Scan Verteron particles. Yeah, we'll scan a Verteron particle. You know, come to think about it, this might actually be a really good system for anomalies, for endeavors, because I remember there being a bunch in this system. You know, back when, like, crafting systems actually mattered, and it wasn't just you'd have a million things by the time you were done, and you could get them all through the DOF system and Admiralty, and, like, you used to actually have to hunt for anomalies. Okay, I think the third one's Zarya? Let's see. Yep, Zarya. Oh, it's the Kalvani belt. I like this one. This one's real nice and atmospheric. There's some good music in this game. It makes it heartbreaking that it's so random. Come on. Game's having trouble loading them. It's like, you want to play these? Okay, whatever. Okay, scan for survivors. Oh, this is the trap, right? This one's a trap? Hang on. Why would you retire this? Why would you retire this ship? I was talking about how I would keep Picard Season 3, but I still can't wrap my head around it. A ship built to last 100 years and you retire it after, less than half of its... barely a fourth of its service life has gone by and you decided to scrap the entire class. An entire class of ship that spent 20 years to build the number that you have. That are, giant, enormous jack-of-all-trades ships that are, God's Swiss Army knife, each of them, and you decide to retire them? Why? Ugh. You could build 2 of these things for every Odyssey, although you could argue that the Ross is the Galaxy, which kind of is, but it also isn't, you know what I mean? Because the Ross is finished, and the Galaxy isn't. What does that matter? Well, the Galaxy is designed to basically be taken apart and rebuilt over and over and over again. It's like an Omni-Mech from Battletech. It's Legos with starships. The Galaxy is a finished design. The Galaxy is purposefully not a finished design. The Ross is a finished design. You thought that was funny, didn't you? Attack. There's a lot of fighters leveling up. Holy shit. Yellow. Little bit of a hang. We are in the middle of massive solar activity right now, so there's probably going to be a little bit of a hitch now and then. Alright, everyone back. Leave the system. Now I need to find a Breen ship. And let's find out if I remember what the hell I'm supposed to say. Okay, I remember them heading from the Ravis system, so probably gonna be one around there. Breen Patrol, there it is. Hi, give me your prisoners. Motherfucker! I remember that happening a lot too. You get right up to them and then they just despawn. And you're flying donuts looking for them. Hail the Breen. Scan the vessel. Drop out of warp and confront them. Is what happened to the rest of your fleet not a clear indication of what's going to happen if you don't release these prisoners to me? In your own time, game. Jeez. I'm trying to dig through my memory and remember what the hell I'm supposed to say. It's a dialogue puzzle. I do know at one point you're on a timer. Let's see. The Breen ship is coming up. Coming about. Ask about the fairy life signs. Ask to speak to the fairy. Transfer. Suggest a trade. Let's see. Don't pay. Offer something else. Find another option. Analyze risks. Attempt deflector pulse. Fire the pulse. 20 seconds. I thought it was 30 seconds. Haha. Depart. So long, suckers. Alright. Now we gotta go to Zarya. We did not... You can stay behind and kill those Breen. It doesn't get you diplomacy XP if you did. This was part of my diplomacy grind back in the day. But you can stay behind and, like, shoot them. But I didn't. Because it's more embarrassing this way. These Breen were absolutely going to shoot. Like, I'm like Batman, okay? I want the bad guys to just gather around the frickin' fire barrel and just tell stories of their run-ins with me. Like, I want him to be like Colonel Runaway. He got embarrassed by the doctor. Let me tell you of the time Captain Drake person made an absolute fool of me. Alright. Go to Zarya. You know, you really should be fortifying this place. It's still really nice looking. Really nice system, but you really should be fortifying it. And where's that Dreadnought? I haven't seen it. It was a rare spawn. It was a rare spawn back in the day. I was hoping I'd see it, though. Beam down to Zarya. This is not going to go well for you guys. I'm just putting that out there. I'm coming, and I'm bringing 800 flavors of cheese with me. You will feel the force of 15 years of power creep. Fully armed and operational player character. I don't know, does a Galaxy Dreadnought count as a battle station? What shields? Alright. Get you out of here. Upload virus debris in computers. That means we run this way. Drake's been doing his cardio. Damn. As I run face first into a wall. Okay, the Hoarders are the ones that aren't keeping up. Yeah, I remember when those Ren bioengineers used to be a problem. They sure as hell ain't anymore. I remember when those Achad soldiers were death on 2 feet. Like that, like, freeze grenade they throw would just end your entire party. Or just you and your buffs. Or Achat Guard, I mean. How many Jet Force Gemini sound effects can we sneak into one interaction? The answer is yes. I missed that game. I gotta play that game again. And that's it. I like Zarya. Something about the sound design reminds me of the mines from Phantasy Star Online. Okay, here are your captives. Here are more captives. And, yeah. So, 2,400. Not a bad haul back in the day. For the amount of time spent. Nowadays, that's just like 2 or 3 queues, pretty much. Let's see. Boulder Day Road, Step Between Stars. Skoimish. That should take us relatively close. There's 2 more that I used to do every day. And we are fairly close to both of them. Let's see. Avian. Let's do Trailus first. We'll do Trailus, then we'll do Alhina, and if we can, we'll see if we can track down the Shamar. In this giant death boat. Okay, so where is it? Trailus. Is it not in the game anymore? Okay, so there was a daily trip. So hang on. Is it in the log as available? Trail satellite repair. There we go. Hail. Advanced warning satellites.
Until next time.
There it is. You have to take the actual mission. Okay. I remember this one could give you diplomacy XP. Sometimes it's random. Sometimes you're fighting your way. Sometimes nothing happens. But I do remember each of these are a dialogue puzzle. So we'll do Trailus, and then we'll do Alhina, and then we'll see if we can find the Shamar, because I remember that one was worth dilithium as well. When it loads. Old mission buried in the code. The game is actively going, why do you want to play this content? Because it's there. The satellites in the system are part of an advanced warning network. I don't know what the hell it's warning you about all the way out here. Healed Hulks. Am I remembering something else? Because I remember a debris field. Let's see. Found the problem. Let's see. Continue. Carry out the necessary repairs. Okay. Alright, so let's see. Alter the electroplasma flow rate. Initialize subspace dampening field. And realign the solar array. Okay. Now, I do remember you can fuck this up. I'll sip it. But I'm in a galaxy. I should be able to just build a new satellite. Simple wear and tear. Once we take care of these minor repairs, it will be fully operational. Okay. Replace capacitance cell. The third one, if I remember right, usually had an enemy encounter. If there was going to be one. Hello, hello. There sure as shit are going to be enemy encounters in Alhina. Okay. Alright, so we're going to have to cover the, why is it making me, like... True way, ships approaching. Yep, true way. Hey, remember when you guys were a threat? I do. Hello. Oh. Alright, everyone back to the barn. Alright, shit. Yep. Pick up away team. Depart.
Until next.
Yeah, whatever. Now, if memory serves, you just get Alhina by approaching it. Same with the Shamar. You really just have to get close to the Shamar. Wherever the hell it is. But, what, before, like, the R&D system, or the current R&D system, I should say, this was how you got deuterium surplus. Incoming distress signal. Yep. Yep. And back in the days before comm arrays, or all the power creep, or before Endeavors, this is how I would get deuterium surplus, so I could turn. I used to draw all kind of weird looks for flying around in a Galaxy retrofit as a tactical officer. And people would be, like, shouting at me in, like, the chat box during, like, when I used to do, like, all the endgame Borg stuff, yelling at me, demanding to know how I was getting this ship to turn the way that I was. Good old attack pattern alpha, and learn how to use evasive maneuvers. Basically it. You know, learn how to learn to fly, scrub, basically. All right. Alright. Now, the True Way can destroy these. And they will. Unfortunately for them, they're not going to get much of a chance to. Oh, you have no chance. No chance. That's what you got. Okay. Yep. This is the Keldon. Keldons used to be friggin' terrifying. Nowadays, not so much. Yeah, shut up. I'm taking your deuterium. And based on the number of these things you saved, you got deuterium surplus. So the reason why Keldons were so friggin' bad early on is because they basically had photonic fleet. And so one Keldon would spawn like 3 or 4 more, and it would blast the shit out of you. Bear in mind, when you first get out here into the neutral zone and you start fighting these Keldons, you are not going to be level 30. You're going to be like level 20. You're going to be like barely that, maybe. Like, you're going to be just, like, level 20-something, clear of the Romulan stuff? Yeah. The first time you ran into the True Way out here, they were going to push your shit in. And they did. Frequently. Nowadays, they are the definition of trash mob. But back then they were scary. Alright, let's see if we can find the Shamar. Let's see. Otha, Trellis, Baja, Karat, Beppy, Space Warzone. There's another artifact from early in the game. All the faction PvP stuff. The Klingon War that didn't, basically. It was there purely to give the game a PvP mode that the developers have since gone on to basically constantly mull ripping out because you don't need PvP. You don't need PvP. And I know that's going to make like some PvPer that hears that angry, but you don't need it. Yeah, I'm not actually seeing it. Azha. Maybe it's around there. Zabal. Is that you? Is that you? Cargo vessel. Is that the Shamar? Hail Shamar. There it is. Please help us. Your head is very tall. True Way activity. Again, with the True Way. Back when the True Way were a thing. Also, you gotta click like 8 million times to get in here. Jeez. Back when the Klingons and the True Way were like the big enemies of the game, and the Undine were just kind of like this. They were a threat, but they were not the immediate threat. Klingon War never really picked up any steam. It wasn't really ended so much as Mercy killed. By that point, it had been a joke, not only narratively, but among the community for years. Like, really, like, the moment Omega Force was a thing, the Klingon War was just kind of dumb and outdated and should have ended right there. Okay. Hey, distress signal. You want me to open a channel? We have medical supplies on board. I'll beam the supplies over immediately. Yeah, stop it with that shit. Okay, cannot thank you enough. Alright, everybody back in. This is a nice map. Why don't they use this map more often? A lot of the space maps in this game are really nice looking, and they're not even used anymore for anything. This game has a lot of assets lying around that they could just be using to make stuff, right? Just to make missions. Like, they've dummied out half the missions in the game. Over half, actually. It's like 40 or 50 of the missions that this game used to have are just completely inaccessible now. You have all of that stuff, and you're telling me that you can't build content based off all the existing stuff you have in the game engine? Come on. Okay, that's more or less the route. I would do those. I would turn in contraband. I would do a foundry mission. The contraband and the foundry mission each gave you, I think the first one of the day that you did for the foundry was 2K dilithium. And contraband actually used to be way more than it is now. It used to actually be like 4 or 5K. And then they like made it like 2K. No. It was 2K, but it was every 5 hours. As opposed to every 24 hours. So let's bring the Woglinde home, and let's bring it home. Let's go teach the Klingons who's boss. Let's do a little Klingon war in of our own to bring this home. Alright, Shan. Beta Thorador. Make sure we're on target. Got us pretty close. Every time I look at the Galaxy Dreadnought, I'm reminded of the fact that Andy Probert hates it. The direct quote from Andrew Probert, who designed the Enterprise D, upon seeing this on screen for the first time is, "What the hell is that?" Yeah, we're having some real... We are in the middle of a massive solar storm, so this is probably the last thing we're going to do. I'm back, bitches! It's already over. My God. The humanity. The Klingonanity. There's your problem. You were all clogged up with Klingons. I just showed up to apply some phased energy Drano. Jesus. Let's see. That's the run. That's ye old run. There are a couple other things I would do. I think I would run, but I don't even think those are in the game anymore. Like I remember I used to do we used to do Starbase 24 a lot. I don't even think Starbase 24 is in the friggin' game anymore. Yeah, Starbase 24 ain't even in the game. That was a lot of work. Nowadays, I could get twice as much just from doing TFOs. Which is sad, because there's a lot of content in this game that people miss out on, because all they're worried about is marks and dilithium. But that's the way the game's been designed. For better or worse. I think for worse. But that is the relic run for dilithium. See you guys later.